Good morning, YouTube. I'm on my Priority 600 bike with the Pinion Gates carbon belt drive. Basically take carbon fibers and case them with synthetic nylon rubber, basically, and that's your belt. Anyway, I realized the video I did talking about the difference between the Priority 600 and the 600X had a lot of wind noise, so I wanted to re-record that on a section of road that doesn't have a lot of wind noise. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm on the south side of Hicks Road in San Jose, California, and I'm climbing what will max out at a 15% grade. If you upload into Google Earth, we'll just call it 14. This is a steep hill. I'm in first gear on the bike, and it makes the climbing super casual. And so whether you get the 600X or the 600, you're gonna have the gearbox, the 12 speed, and climbing steep hills should be very casual in terms of gear range. Now, that assumes a couple things. When you're climbing a hill, you have three variables: gravity, friction, and wind resistance. When you're on flat, you don't really have the gravity you're fighting against. You gotta work a lot harder when you're going up a gravity well or uphill. So taking that back to the comparison of the 600 versus the 600X, they're gonna be pretty similar on that front. 600X is gonna weigh a little bit more probably because it has a suspension fork, more metal, more parts. And if you add, you know, alternative bars made of steel like the Malacos like I got, racks, and leave the, you know, rain guards on, which are great. Like, road's super wet, it's been dumping rain in San Jose like crazy the last 2 weeks. The weight's probably gonna be within a few pounds of each other. So, you know, I kind of call it a wash. So that gets to this like essential question: why did I buy the 600 instead of the 600X? And the reason is simple. The 600 was available. I would have bought the 600X if it was available. And my thought was like, okay, why wait 4 or 5 months to get a bike that has the same frame and the same drivetrain when I can get that frame and drivetrain now? And if I want, I can add a suspension fork that's a better component than they sell the 600X on, so I can add a better fork, and I can add a better dropper seat. So what we can see in both models is that the shining star component is the Pinion gearbox and the Gates carbon belt drive. Everything else is pretty generic. Frames are made of aluminum, most common frame material. Don't quote me on that on global production, steel might be more, but they're, you know, most bikes are made of aluminum. And then all the components are like, you know, not so great. You're not gonna sell a $3,000 bike with Fox, let that car go by, with Fox Kishiyama suspension, right? And so I'll put some links below that show how I would just transform the 600 into like the 600 XXX, you know, much more extreme, much better build quality. Because, you know, if you're gonna take a bike off-road, if you're gonna take a 600 on the Tour Divide or the Baja, you know, do yourself a favor and get better components. You don't have to get premium components, but get better components. Get a fork that's ride tested and has a good reputation. Don't just get something that has like no name, it's not easy to service, and no one's ever heard of. Get a dropper that like never ever breaks, you know. So the Fox dropper is hard to service, but it never ever breaks, right? Everybody swears by him.
The best way to support this channel is to donate $5 to my PayPal tip jar, subscribe to my channel. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, I will donate $1,000 to Santa Cruz Mountains Trail Stewardship. Like and comment on the content. It's been great hanging out with you today. See you around.